All right, so in this video, we're going to continue with lesson module 5.2 of the 6th grade Go Math textbook. We're going to be going over the independent practice problems, and we're on page 117 of the 6th grade Go Math textbook. All right, so to add or subtract number 18, let's make sure we line up the place value by lining the decimal points. So we have 28 and 6/10 minus 975 thousandths. So when we look at that, after lining up the decimals, what do we take 5 from? So let's add 2 placeholders after the 6/10. All right, so now we have the same digits, or same number of digits. So 5 taken from nothing, you can't borrow from the hundredths. So borrow from the tenths. And now we can subtract. 10 take away 5 is 5. 9 take away 7 is 2. We can't take 9/10 from 5/10, so regroup from the ones. And we get 27 and 625 thousandths. Okay, 19, 5 and 6/10 minus 105 thousandths. So again, after lining the decimals, we notice that we don't have the same number of place value digits in 5 and 6/10. So let's add 2 placeholder zeros, regroup, and you should come up with 5 and 495 thousandths. Number 20, 7 and 3/100ths plus 33 and 6 thousandths. So line up the decimal point, make sure the 3 ones is under the 7 ones and the 3 tens is to the left of the 7 ones. Okay, we are in need of 1 placeholder zero. All right, add 6, 3, 0, 10. So 40 and 36 thousandths. Okay, 21, we have 3 digits, or 3 values to add. 4, we know is 4.0 and 1.602. All right, so I added the decimal point after the 4. I've lined up all the decimal points, and I could put 2 placeholder zeros so we have same number of digits. 2, 2, 10. Okay, so 63 and 22 thousandths. Okay, 22 also has 3 digits, 3 values to add. Make sure you line up the decimals. Okay, so when we line these up, we can put placeholder zeros in the first 2 numbers. So we have the decimal point here. Our place values line up. Okay, so go ahead and add. So 70 and 53 thousandths. Okay, 18 and 419 thousandths minus 6 and 47 hundredths. Decimal points are lined up. This one has 3 place value digits to the right of the decimal point. This one has 2. So we can add a placeholder 0 and subtract. 11 and 949 thousandths. And that was number 23. All right, 24. 83 minus 12 and 76 hundredths. Now, how come I didn't put 83 over here? Well, that 83 is a whole number, right? And so the numbers to the left of decimal points are whole numbers. So there is a decimal point in 83. It's after the 3. So 83 and 0 hundredths minus 12 and 76 hundredths. So 70 and 24 hundredths. Okay, so 102.01 subtract 95.602. So we can add a placeholder 0 in the 102 and 10 hundredths number and 100ths number. So 6 and 408 thousandths. (26A). Ursula wrote the sum 5 and 815 thousandths plus 6 and 21 thousandths as a sum of 2 mixed numbers. What sum did she write? Okay, so 5 and 815 thousandths plus 6 and 21 thousandths. Compare the sum of the mixed numbers to the sum of the decimals. Well, okay, so 5 and 815 plus 6 and 21 thousandths. 6 and 5 is 11. 21 and 30 and 15 is 36, so 836 thousandths. Okay. So that's the sum of the mixed numbers, which is the same as saying 11 and 836 thousandths. 27. Stefan and Jemiah are having lunch. Stefan buys a garden salad, a veggie burger, and lemonade. Jemiah buys a fruit salad, toasted cheese, and a bottle of water. Whose lunch costs more? Okay. So write them out. Stephen bought a garden salad for $2.29, a veggie burger for $4.75, and a lemonade for $1.29. Jemiah bought a fruit salad for $2.89, toasted cheese sandwich for $4.59, and a bottle of water for $1.39. Okay, so we have three numbers to add. Okay, we've lined up the decimal point and all in both sets, and we need to see whose lunch costs more. So 9 and 9, 18, 23. 2, 4, 6, and 7 more is 13. 4, 6, 7, 8. So $8.13. Oh, I wrote 13, or I said 13, but I didn't write 13. I wrote 11. All right. All right, so Stefan's lunch costs $8.33. Maya 3 nines is 27. 10 and 8 is 18. And Jemiah's cost $8.87. So $8.87 is more. So whose lunch costs more? Jemiah's. How much more? 887 minus 833, 54 cents more. All right, 28. Jemiah wants to leave $1.75 as a tip for her server. She has a $20 bill. How much change should she receive after paying for her food and leaving a tip? So that's basically what the number sentence would look like. $20 bill minus how much you pay for her lunch plus the tip will tell you how much change she should get back. So $20 minus $10.62. Remember, there's a decimal point after the 20. So 20 and 0 hundredths. $9.38 is what she'll get back. 29. In addition to his meal, Stefan orders a fruit salad for takeout and wants to leave $2.25 as a tip for his server. He has a $10 bill and a $5 bill. How much change should he receive after paying for his lunch? So 10 plus 5 minus his lunch cost $8.33. And then he wants to buy a fruit salad. And he wants to leave a $2.25 tip. So 10 and 5 is 15 minus the sum of 8 and 33 hundredths, 2 and 89 hundredths, and 2 and 25 hundredths. Okay, so the sum of his lunch with the tip and fruit salad is $13.47. There's a decimal point after the 5 of 15. So he should get back $1.53. Okay, number 30. A carpenter who is installing cabinet uses thin pieces of material called shims to fill gaps. The carpenter uses 4 shims to fill a gap that is 1 2/10 centimeters wide. 3 of the shims are 7,500 centimeters, 1 25 centimeters, and 900 centimeter wide. What is the width of the 4th shim? Okay, so 1 2/10, that's how big the gap was, minus the 3 that we know, will equal the unknown value. So 75 hundredths plus 125 thousandths plus 9 hundredths. We can add placeholders zeros to line up the decimals or to have the same number of digits. So far, the three shims are 965 thousandths. And we're going to take that from 1 and 2 tenths. Okay, put 2 placeholder zeros. So 235 thousandths centimeters is the last shim. Okay, 31A. A CD of classical guitar music contains 5 songs. The length of each song is shown in the table. Between each song is a 5/100th of a minute break. How long does it take to listen to the CD from the beginning of the first song to the end of the last song? All right, so we're going to have 6 5/10 minutes added to 8 0/10 minutes added to 3 93/100 minutes added to 4 1/10 minutes and 5 5/100 minutes. So that's the length of the song. So I'm going to go ahead and add placeholder zeros to have the same number of digits. And so that's 8, 15, 27, and 58/100 minutes. But that's not all we need to do. We also need the 5/100th minute break between at the end of each song. Okay, we don't need a 5/100th minute break at the end, so we need to add 4 5/100ths. Okay. So 5, 10, 15, 20. So we have to add 20/100th of a minute to the 27 and 58/100th minutes. So we're going to have 27 and 78/100th minutes from the beginning to the end. If Juan wants to buy the CD from an internet music site, he downloads the CD onto a disc that can hold up to 60 minutes of music. How many more minutes of music can he still buy after downloading the CD? Well, that's just 60 minus the 2778. So again, there's a decimal point after 60. So write in the decimal point and 2 zeros for placeholders. And then just subtract. You'll still have 32 and 22/100 minutes remaining. All right, 32. Use the decimals 2 and 47/100, 9 and 57/100, and 7 and 1/10 to write 2 different addition facts and 2 different subtraction facts. Okay, so 2 and 47/100 plus 7 and 1/10 equals 9 and 57/100, or 7 and 1/10 plus 2 and 47/100 is 9 and 57/100. Subtraction fact could be 9 and 57/100 minus 2 and 47 hundredths equals 7 and 1/10, or 9 and 57 hundredths minus 7 and 1/10 equals 2 and 47 hundredths of 2 and 47 hundredths. Okay. The commutative property of addition states that you can change the order of addends in a sum. We know that. The associative property of addition states that you can change the grouping. All right, so use an example to show the commutative property of addition and the associative property of addition apply to adding decimals. All right, let's say we have this problem. All right, so let's say we have this. All right, and we want to rewrite that using the commutative property. Well, commutative property says that the order of the addends doesn't matter. Well, when I look at 3 and 15 hundredths and 4 and 6 tenths plus 1 and 85 hundredths, so we could just rewrite that as okay. So it doesn't matter whether we start with 4 and 6 tenths or we start with 1 and 85 hundredths. We're still going to get 9 and 6 tenths. And the associative property, that's grouping things differently, right? And so when I look at 85 hundredths and 15 hundredths, I recognize that that's going to end in as one whole. So why don't I combine those two? Okay, so using the associative property, if I put those two together, that's 5. And then adding 4.6 to 5 is easy to do in your head. All right, and 34. Indira predicts that the actual difference of 19 minus 7 and 82 hundredths will be greater than the estimate of 19 minus 8. Is she correct? Yeah, she's right, because if you estimate that, you're making the number that you're subtracting greater. Okay, so if the number you're subtracting, you round it up, that means you're subtracting a greater number. So that's going to result in a smaller difference. For instance, 19 minus 8 is 11. 19 minus 7 is 12. So if we're actually have a sum of a difference of, we're taking away 7 and we made it 8, you made the difference smaller than it should have been. All right, so that's it for adding and subtracting decimals. So until our next lesson, I will see you soon.